oxtail. Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Jen, and today we're gonna make oxtail soup. So this is one of my favorite soups. My mom used to make this all the time, and then whenever I would come home from college or grad school, she would always make it for me because it was my favorite. And this is my first time making it, so you know, I hope it'll turn out the same way. But yeah, I'm excited to show you guys this recipe. And this is what you will need: 2 pieces of celery, 2 carrots, 2 potatoes, 2 onions, 6 tomatoes, 4 pieces of garlic, 2 to 2.5 pounds of oxtail, some ketchup, water, oil, salt, black pepper, cabbage, and tomato paste. Now that everything is nicely peeled and washed, we can start chopping the carrots. I do this rolling side cut because it gets these nice spears, and I think they're nicer to eat than just rounds. And you just keep doing this, and this will determine the size of the rest of your vegetables too. Cut your potatoes in a similar size to those spears. For the onions, it doesn't matter what size you cut them because they'll disintegrate in the soup, but I just cut them into like a rough chop. For the celery, I also do the rolling side chop and just get them in the same size as the potatoes and the carrots. Cool. And now for the tomatoes. So, I love soup. Soup is one of my favorite dishes ever. These ones, I think I'll just cut them into wedges. Everyone who lived with me just knew that I was constantly eating soup, and then one winter in Sweden I stopped, I didn't make soup as much, and one guy was like, "Jen, you haven't made soup this winter yet. It's very weird." And I just kind of laughed. I was planning on making this oxtail soup when I was in Sweden, but I just never got around to it. And after looking at a recipe, I realized how easy it is, and I totally could have done it. But at least I'm doing it now. Now the pan is hot, and this is what the oxtail looks like. We're just going to fry it in the pan without any oil because the oxtail has plenty of fat, and we want to fry that off. So you want to separate it and then brown it on all sides, so the top, the bottom, and the sides as well. Now some of the oxtail is brown enough, so we're going to put it in this pot of hot water. Just the small pieces mainly, and then continue to brown the bigger pieces. Now all of the oxtail is brown, and we've just added some water, and we're gonna bring that up to a boil. Heat a tablespoon of oil and add your onions and potatoes. You want to fry these until they're brown so the potatoes won't disintegrate in your soup. Now add the tomatoes and cook them until the tomatoes are soft. So this is the water and the meat. This top layer is called scum, and it's the impurities that come from the meat and the bones when you boil them. So you want to remove them so your soup will be nice and clear. So the tomatoes are nice and soft, and now we're adding in the ketchup. I put about a tablespoon in and just mix it around. Then add your tomato, potato, and onion mixture to the soup, and be careful not to spill. Then try and get the remainder of the tastiness from the pan and just put that in. Then add the celery, the carrots, give it a stir, give it a taste, see if it needs some salt. I put 2 spoons of salt in. Add the garlic and stir. So now we just put the lid on. It's hot, so I'm gonna use these so I don't burn myself. Nice. And then turn it up. I turn it to high, and then we're gonna wait for this thing to pop up, and that's how you know there's enough pressure in the pressure cooker. So right now it's popped up, and we just turn it down to like a low medium and let it go for about 40 to 45 minutes. So for this recipe, I use a pressure cooker, and for a lot of my soups, I do that as well, just because it makes it a lot quicker and the meat turns out more tender. If you're interested in a pressure cooker, I'll link the one that I have in the description box. We just got it off of Amazon. If you have an Instant Pot, you can make the soup in there too. So you just do it on the stew setting for 45 minutes. And if you don't have either, you can do it in a regular pot for 1.5 to 2 hours, or just until the bone, the meat falls off the bone. Okay, so now it's been 45 minutes, and I'm just gonna turn the heat off. With the pressure cooker, you have to wait for this thing to pop back down, so it means that the pressure has been removed. So usually it takes a while for the pressure to release, but a quick way to do it is just to get like a towel, put it on top and push down with a chopstick. So it's like an express release. Oh, and I like using a chopstick just because it prevents my hand from like directly touching this, because the steam will burn you. Okay, it's finally popped down, so we can take the lid off. Yay! So again, this is kind of hot, and there will be a lot of steam that comes out when you open it. So just be careful not to burn yourself. Just like this. Oh, it looks so good. It smells so good. I'm gonna give it a taste. It's really good. Yay! Okay, I'm so happy with this. I probably should have put less water in, but that was my bad. So I'm just gonna continue to boil it until it's a little bit thicker, just the thickness that I want it to be. Also, if you look at the meat, you can see how soft it is and how it's like already falling off the bone, which is just what we want. Okay, we'll be back after this reduces. You also want to skim the fat off, and the fat will rise to the surface as it boils. Now for the tomato paste. For some extra tomato flavor, I started with 2 teaspoons and then added some black pepper. Give it a stir, give it a taste. Okay, this tastes a lot stronger of tomato and a lot more like it should be. It's really good. Okay, perfect. Now I'm just gonna add in some cabbage just because we had some at home. And it's nice to add more vegetables into your soup. And we want to cook it until the cabbage is nice and soft. So now the soup is done. The cabbage is nice and soft, and I've also added more salt, more pepper, and about 3 to 4 teaspoons more of tomato paste. So we're just going to put it in a bowl and try and get some meat in here, some vegetables. The meat is all nice and tender. So good. And we'll have a final taste. So here's my bite. It's so good. Wow, that's so good. It's also super easy. I mean, it's easy, but it does take a bit of time. So it's not quick and easy, but it is still easy. Oh, and I like to eat this with rice or noodles. You can do like regular noodles or even rice noodles too. I think that would be tasty. I hope you guys like the video and you'll try out this recipe. You'll like the video down below and subscribe so you can make a tasty soup like this too. This is very hot. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.